people when it would come to the family's response to Gregor. When they see him, they are absolutely what? Okay. So, terrified, scared. See if this starts writing. There we go. Absolutely afraid. We know they are fainting and whatnot. They are not feeling what for him? Would you feel concern if whether person has turned into an actual bug, or you're going with the example of the guy who's doing the toe wagging contortion that was happening in the video, would you feel concern or would you feel fear?
Concern.
I would smack my son so hard. I would smack him.
Why would you, and I think the honest answer that some of you said both would be true. Why would there at least be some element of concern? Maybe you're not going to run up and hug him.
Maybe like after.
And concern for him, not like concern for yourself.
Oh. Maybe like after you're not as you're gonna be most afraid when you first see it. Maybe after you're a little bit concerned. Like some of the therapies.
So like reality kind of sets in. Julia, you said because it is family that you would expect that maybe there should be some concern, that there should be emotional contact. Pardon?
They're concerned about how they're going to get money because these others won't work.
Oh, and you're right. I mean, we kind of think of that emotional concern, but yeah, that primary concern for them certainly would be, we don't have any money that could be coming in. The one time that Gregor does seem to have a little bit of happiness for him, there is a picture of Gregor. He is smiling. I know this is a terrible picture. He is wearing a uniform. Wasn't in school. Picture of him in the military. Not going that far with it. But in the military, and you could come up with this for a whole bunch of different organizations. I mean, those of you who are on sports teams might sometimes feel the same way. That there is a bond that will exist with people, or it could be like, performing arts or anything along those lines. But if you're with the same group of people, generally there is some kind of, I won't say necessarily brotherhood, because that would imply all males, but there is at least some kind of connection that takes place with there being a team. Trust would be a good word. Thank you. When he has on the uniform, he seems to be happy. He seems to be at a time where there's at least a little bit more contentness within his life. Now, you take him out of there, and you said about PTSD and things like that. It's World War I is going on at the time, so it's possible that he could be thinking, that idea as an author. Based on the timeline of him having already been with the company for about 5 years at this point, that version of Gregor would not have been in World War I from a time standpoint. A lot of European nations, and they still do it, would be where you have mandatory military service. So between the ages of like 18 and 25, you have to do X number of years. Stuff like that would have been going on at that time as well. So that could be part of the reason for the military. But there does seem to be trust that would take place, within that kind of group, to use Julia's word, but that trust does not seem to be there with him and the family. That emotional connection doesn't kind of seem to be there with him and the family. So why become a bug? If you're a bug, you're disgusting, little, insignificant. The intelligence, that we think of with the mental reasoning isn't there. If I'm not being treated as a person, for all intents and purposes, I must therefore become a bug. But you could make the argument that, and Gavin, you were kind of talking about this, when he first wakes up, what's his primary concern? He's late for? Okay. Primary concern is he's late for work. Primary concern is, how will I get out of bed? Primary concern does not seem to be, crap, I'm a bug. Oh my goodness, I'm a bug! What do I do?
I'm gonna be late for work. He's gonna ask his manager if like he ever experienced something like that.
Yeah, like,
Wait.
Mr. Kane, your reading check quiz made me feel like an insignificant flea. Have you had moments where you felt like a flea too?
No.
Mr. King types back, I actually am. It's like he's
Hey, Halloween's coming around. You know, we can all go cough and metamorphosis here. But concern has nothing to do with a bug. Where what he still is able to do, since he's worried about work, he's worried about money and things like that, he still does have a human mind. So, you know, in some ways he has become transformed if we think that has actually happened, but he still has this mind. One thing to keep an eye on as we're going through parts 2 and part 3, in what ways, if any, does that mind begin to deteriorate? In what ways, if any, does that alienation continue to grow? Or does it start to change where he gets more human qualities, people start to treat him with a little bit more concern? Your son, your brother, has turned, or at least thinks he's turned into a giant bug. And he just shoved him back into the closet, into the room, you know, with the cane and the newspaper. What do you do now? Besides locking doors.
Well, like if he's not actually a cockroach, why did it become like faint? Pretty much they just saw him like on the floor.
And that's why I wanted to show, not saying that that is what he has become, you know, but if you're going with it that it's more of a mental thing that has happened to him, if you go into the bedroom, and I know he comes out, they don't go into the bedroom like in the book, the way they portray him there, but all of a sudden, you know, he has a sheet wrapped around himself, and he's contorting himself into a bug with what in the heck is coming out of his mouth and all over his chest. That's going to kind of throw you off. If you were to act like that, chances are mom would probably go, "What has happened to my son?" So I do think that whole "oh my goodness, I can't believe it" idea could take place. And this sounds like a cop-out answer, so I apologize in advance. It is a Kafka story. So remember, I mentioned the idea of it being Kafka-esque. Things that are so surreal, things that are so bizarre, things that are so absurd, we associate with him, like with Kafka. So it's not something that is going to really, at any point, I would say, truly make sense. Because we always want, well, what's the real explanation that's going on? And I don't think there's one that's going to be there for it. Yeah, I mean, you could take that route, that, yeah, you know, and he's contorted, and he's on the bed, and he's trying to rock himself out. You know, tomorrow morning, don't try to sleep on your right side, get up, you know, opposite of how you normally would, rock out, pretend you have multiple legs. It could be kind of chaotic when you leave. However, one thing to kind of keep in mind, you gotta be kidding me. You did the other day when you were taking a look at the diary, Jack, with the diary entries, when you were working on the multiple choice questions, you had a person, and those entries were written. You had a person who did not feel that connection to family. You had a person who felt that his father wasn't respecting him. You had a person who did have relationships with friends, but when he brought the friends home, Dad was basically going, they're the equivalent of like fleas and dogs and all that stuff. What is Gregor's last name? They are the Samsas. What is your author's last name?
Is that his name?
No, they're two different things. So, okay, similarities though. You do have. What else kind of happens?
2S.
You have double letters here, and they're not the same letter, but wherever the S is, you also have a double letter with the K, and then you have, you know, it's two syllables, Samsa, Kafka. Is that purposeful, intentional on his part? I can't say for sure, but from the diary entries that he's written, from, you know, those kind of little similarities, you certainly get the idea that at the very least, and this might kind of go with that whole literal, figurative kind of idea, You have a writer who feels alienated. You have a writer who feels isolated. You have a writer who doesn't feel appreciated. You have a writer who doesn't like his job, solely does his job to support his family. So the internal struggle that he would be feeling is, I don't really feel like a person anymore. I don't feel that I really have those connections. I might have arms and legs. I could be an evolved primate, as Josh was saying, but otherwise my humanity has pretty much been taken away. So the injuries that he has at the end of the story, where you have a parent attacking him, those physical qualities now certainly in question, where we have some changes taking place. He certainly doesn't feel like he's the same person that he would have been 5, 6, 7 years ago. The sheet that you have, I know we didn't fill everything out. It's not a homework assignment. But those are ideas that we might kind of come back to as we start taking a look at test, essay assignments, all that kind of stuff down the road. So keep them in your notes section, hold on to them. I'll give you another one for part 2. So these will be things we'll continue to investigate in part 2.
That's